Good morning, lovely people. I guess I'm just on here to share some things, and hopefully this can help you, help me, help everybody in documenting my life just a smidge. I feel like every time certain things happen, there's certain thought processes, certain I want to say messages, but like thoughts that just pop into my head that tell me everything or all the things without even having to go and ask somebody. And I feel like more and more all these confirmations are happening, and it's kind of like surreal. I tell myself that maybe I should just start writing all the things that pop into my head, so that way I could be like, see, at this time on this day this thought popped in and I was like, okay, and then we're doing it. I think that sometimes we don't realize how magical we are and how much things are just in plain sight and we don't even see it. Or we're even talking certain things that we don't even know what we're talking about, but we're talking about it. And I say this to say, like, sometimes we have to be really cautious in what our mind is saying, because sometimes it could be those negative thoughts that really have no sustenance. They're just there to, like, with us, you know what I mean? And it's just those little minute somehow insecurities. I mean, not even insecurities, because you could possibly be like, I don't have any insecurities, I don't really worry what people say. No, but there's just still thought forms in your mind that's telling you, oh, that's not good, no you can't, you thought you could, don't worry, it's gonna crumble. No, and no. Like, the thought is that you say, no, that's not right, I don't agree with that. You gotta let that one go. I appreciate it, but nah, gotta let that go. And I had a whole 24 hours, 36, of not being able to sleep because I was figuring out the figurings in my mind on what I was going to do, how my life is going to go. But then sometimes when you do that, you restrict the possibilities of the things just happening, and instead of you having to force some things to happen, letting it flow is actually so much better, because you could possibly get something even bigger or better than what you actually were thinking on your own. Not to say that your thought wasn't great, because your thought was great. That's why it was there. But sometimes it needs a little polishing. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is what it is. Or look, even better. So that way I say, whatever you want, whatever you desire, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. And like I heard this lady, her name is Mina Irfan, she said, life is like a catalog. Now, there's two different things between desiring what someone has, like to take that away from them so that they don't have it so you can have it. And then there's this, oh my God, they have it, oh, I want that too. But because you're inspired by them, that takes away from having to be like, oh, I don't want them to have whatever it is, or like even being jealous because you're actually inspired. Some people aren't always welcoming to the idea that you are inspired by their choices, because I realized when I was a kid, my brother was so cool to me. Like, he was the coolest person alive. I wanted to be just like my brother. I thought he was so cool, but he always pushed me away. And but that's, at the same time, that has nothing to do with me. But when you're a kid, you have no clue as to why you're being pushed away. That's not to say he wasn't pushed away and that's why he was pushing me away. It's just a pattern, just a change, just a reaction. So then here we go, fast forward to when Olivia has her two little boys. She already has her daughter. She's having issues with her daughter because her daughter wants to have certain similarities and do certain things the way I do. And I was like, why do you want to do stuff like I do? I don't even do it that well. What are you talking about? Those were my insecurities, right? Then seeing my two boys, the youngest one wanted to copy the older one. And the older one used to always get upset, like, stop copying me. But when I saw it from the outside, it made me realize on the inside that the younger one is copying the older one because they're cool. And why wouldn't they be cool? One's trying to be like the other and the other one doesn't want it. But it wasn't malicious. It wasn't malicious at all. And some people take it maliciously because they don't know the behind the scenes, the idea. So just when you see somebody, something that you like you're like, oh, I want that 2028 Honda Odyssey. Like, there's many people out there going to have it. It's in a catalog. You can look at it. Just because somebody has it and you're like, oh my God, I want one of those, doesn't mean that there's any harm, but you can have that desire. Just got to work for it. Obviously, you listen to the nudges. Obviously, you listen to your own intuition, and you obviously don't go above your means, because why would you want to struggle like that? And saying this to say, manifestation is real.